What is your opinion on some of the work John Mack has done?
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, in fact, I know a kid. In fact, what? I know this kid.
These UFO experiencers, these abductees.
Yeah, I know John Mack. He's a friend of mine. I knew him.
You knew him personally?
Of course, yes. He's part of the whole. He's part of the whole thing. Of
Right.
course. We're all connected.
What is your opinion on everything he's done in specific? Like, it seems like there's
I support
more.
him 100%.
It seems like there's more of these sightings around schools involving young children.
Well, that's what happened to me. They want to teach it to young, receptive minds so they can instill with their stuff. Yeah, of course. The answer is yes. Everything's John. And John, I still think, although I get a lot of pushback, I still think that John was assassinated. I was with John right before he went to London and got himself killed in San Francisco here. And he had just come off the Caribbean. He was on a yacht with Werner Erhard, one of the guys who had funded me. There's a whole thing here.
Really?
Yeah. And he was going, and you see, John was also, he had double life. John, got a Pulitzer Prize
Right.
for T.E. Lawrence, biography, Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay. Separate from his. And John went up to Oxford or Cambridge to give a seminar on Lawrence of Arabia. He was getting a prize on Lawrence of Arabia. And when he came back, it was midnight. And I know the area, it's this big street. It's a well-lit street. I mean, come on, it's a well-lit street. It was no traffic. And this guy from Czechoslovakia said he was drunk. An immigrant from Czechoslovakia on a truck runs him down. Come on now. And they said,
So he looked the wrong way.
They said, look the wrong, which happens. But this is a broadly, like a boulevard, bright lights, and he was right across the street. So even a truck could have seen him a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said he was drunk. This was an assassination because I'm pretty sure, and I don't care what his family and what these assholes tell me. No, don't say that. I'll say it. I think he was assassinated because he was involved in intelligence operations. John, all these Harvard. These are all part of the CIA stuff. So, he was involved something with the Islamist, revolution and things going on around that time. So I think he was hit. Also, I have another friend who was in the French intelligence who was assassinated in the same way that Harold Shipman was. A guy from the French intelligence, Jean-Raison Nadal, who I knew, and who was actually working with Francois Truffaut, who played the French scientist, Francois Truffaut plays Jacques Vallée in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where I got Vallée into the Hollywood connection through the party that Francis Coppola gave at his house in 1976 with Spielberg and all these guys, Zemeckis, all these guys were there, and that's how he connected. And but Francois Truffaut was involved in an intelligence operation with my French friend, Jean Nadal, who I knew in San Francisco, and I'm not going to go into everything. He was working for the French CIA, and he had found some stuff connected with people, maybe with the Russians. I know something. He had found out. Oh yeah, they were going to assassinate. This is 1977. There was a plot to assassinate Nelson Rockefeller, who was still alive. Rockefeller died at the same. Okay. And there was stuff, the Union, there was all the kind of stuff. In any case, he and Truffaut knew about it. And this was when we were up. This was when we were up in the apartment. I still had the apartment opposite the Lawrence Rockefeller was paying for our PCRG apartment. It's in Hippie State Physics. And Jean is up there, and John says he feels his life is in danger, this information. And he says, if something happens to me, and he's holding my arm, he says, if something happens to me, please, investigate it. A year goes by. Somehow somebody tells me, another French friend of mine, Michel, my friend Michel, whose father was a general in the French army. He's like, I hang out with all these guys. And he says, Jean Nadal is being buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery. Sudden cancer. Yeah, it was like a little polonium. I'm sure it was polonium poisoning. Yeah, he was killed the same way Harold Shipman was killed. Francois Truffaut died suddenly not too long after. Just look and see how when Truffaut died. Okay? So guys get whacked. have gotten whacked. And this fits right in what Grush is saying, too. Remember David Grush was talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What did he say about people getting whacked?
Well, I don't know because you heard, but he didn't say much because he can't say much. I don't. Was he implying it's the CIA killing people, or our own guys killing them, or who knows who? I don't know.
What do you think about what he said about there's actual bodies, that we have possession of bodies?
Yeah, well, I know that. I mean, that's what.
You know it?
Well, I don't know it for sure. I haven't seen the bodies, but I know it from. Because I believe what Colonel Corso said. Colonel Corso said he saw, and other people said. I don't know that directly. I haven't seen it myself. But Kit Green basically says it. So I believe Kit Green. I know Kit Green.
Do you think they're planning on disclosing it to the public eventually? Or do you think they're just going to hide it forever?
It's already been disclosed. Right now, that's what the war is about now, right? It's
That's
reality
what the war's
war.
about.
It's reality.
It's a war on reality?
It's a war on, I call it reality war. Right? Yeah, we don't know what's real. This deep fakes, what you could do with deep fakes that you could have anybody saying anything they want.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am a reality man. I am a puppet master to some extent. Because of my intellect and because of my education, seriously, and I could, I see big pictures. I'm putting together a narrative. I'm giving you my narrative.
Right.
Okay. What we are, we're still cavemen. We're back in the cave. We're around the campfire, right? Cub Scouts.
Right.
We're telling you story with the Martian. They're coming. The boogeyman's going to come against you. But we're still, though, we're like apes. We're intelligent apes. We're still sitting around. Everything depends on stories. We've all been sold stories. I'm giving you my story. I'm shaping a narrative, the Sarfatti narrative, what reality is. You could take it or leave it. Of course, I could be wrong. There's what's called uncertain knowledge. All we can do is take pieces of information and then we try what's called, in artificial intelligence, is a landscape and optimization. This is what this is what AI, what Sam Altman's algorithms are doing. I'm like an algorithm. We're all algorithms, but we're conscious algorithms. And we're doing exactly what it is. We're trying to optimize. Yeah. We have all these pieces of information. Any piece by itself is very uncertain. And we're trying to make a coherent story out of it. I'm giving you the Sarfatti story, which I think, and I could be wrong, and I'm willing, as new information comes in, I change my story. I adapt to new information. I weigh it. It's called Bayesian probability.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, and I'm giving you what I think is the best optimum fit to all the data that I have. What is the best storyline? What's the best narrative to get a coherent understanding of reality?